Hello everybody. I'm back in my robe, so you know what that means. I'm going somewhere. I'm in our guest bathroom, so that's why I'm not in my normal bathroom. But I'm going to be cleaning my makeup brushes while I talk to you guys because I hate cleaning my makeup brushes and I need to do it. So I'm going to distract myself by chatting with you guys about our upcoming trip. So today is Friday. We leave for Paris on Sunday, and I don't even know, I mentioned it in my what I got for Christmas video that we were going to Paris, and then I've mentioned it on Instagram and stuff like that. Yeah, we're going to Paris. Also, I have a ring light in here to try to make it a bit brighter because I feel like if I don't have that, it's gonna be a bit yellow, but I feel like it just dinged down, so I don't know. So if it keeps looking funky, I don't know what to tell y'all. So we leave on Sunday. And so it is just like last minute crunch time of getting all the things done and ready for this trip. And yeah, I'm kind of freaking out, but also it'll be fine. Sunday's basically an entire travel day, which I'm not really looking forward to, but it is what it is. We are flying from Pittsburgh to Boston because Pittsburgh has no direct to Paris anymore. They used to. They don't anymore though, unfortunately. But then our layover in Boston's like 8 hours. But honestly, all the other layovers were longer. We could have either gotten a layover in Boston or DC, and all the options were longer than this 8-hour one. So 8 hours it is. So that I'm a bit nervous about, but gotta do what you gotta do. And I think what I'm most nervous about for this flight is that it's a red eye, and because I do not sleep while on planes. I don't know if I've ever been on a red-eye flight in my life, because when we flew to Hawaii, we were only flying from California and it was in the morning, so it wasn't that bad. And then on the way back, it was like a situation where we left in the morning and we flew all day. So I'm a bit nervous about that aspect of it, but I'm trying to prepare the best that I can, and I'm gonna have to sleep. Like, there's no way around that, otherwise I will be screwed for this entire trip. And we will not be sleeping when we get there because, one, our hotel room won't be ready, and two, I'm not wasting a whole day by trying to catch up on sleep. That's just gonna hurt us later. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm nervous about right now. I did get a nice neck pillow. I have these nice earplugs. I'm gonna bring an eye mask. I'm probably gonna take a sleep aid medication. I'm a melatonin girly. Like, I take melatonin every night. I need to take melatonin every night to sleep. I talked to my doctor about this. It is what it is. I think in this situation, melatonin's not going to make me fall asleep, especially because we're going to be boarding at like 8:30 p.m. and then we'll be landing, God willing, that nothing's delayed. We're going to be landing at 9 a.m. Paris time, which is 3 a.m. Pittsburgh time. So we will be getting up in the middle of the night when we get there and have to stay up. So I need to sleep on this 7-hour flight. Like, that's non-negotiable. So we'll see how that goes. I'm very nervous for that, but it is what it is. I have a aisle seat because I'm an aisle seat girly. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I've been incredibly anxious about getting sick before this trip or during this trip. But thankfully, I did feel a little under the weather earlier this week, and a bunch of people recommended taking Zicam, which I had never taken. And honest to God, it worked so well. I'll link it down below in case you guys need it. And I guess it's like a cold shortener. That's how they refer to it. And honestly, it worked. You take it every 2 to 3 hours. Mine was a meltable thing, which disgusting. But again, it was either that or a gummy. So I don't know. Equally bad options in my opinion. So I took the meltable and took it every 2 to 3 hours. And sure enough, I took it for 3 days straight. And today, I have a little bit of congestion, but after that first day, after I started taking it, I did not have a sore throat anymore, which for me, I have really bad nasal issues. I had surgery when I was a teenager because I had a cyst in my sinus cavity. So ever since then, I have really bad drainage issues. Everything just drains down the back of my throat, gives me a sore throat constantly, and this literally fixed my sore throat in less than a day. So that was a major slay. So yeah, I'd recommend Zicam. And I'm also a psychopath, so I did order these wipes that kill norovirus. They're from a medical website. So I bought those and I'm packing those because I don't do throw up, and I will literally pass away if I get sick on this trip. So pray for me. I'm praying to God that I will be okay, because if I waste 3 days of my 6-day trip or 7-day trip, I'm gonna lose my marbles. But hopefully we will be happy and healthy this whole trip. But other than that, I'm doing what I can, everybody. We started packing last night. We are both bringing our carry-ons, of course, and then we're doing one check bag for the both of us to share. But the main intention of that check bag is to bring back souvenirs, because this is technically like my birthday trip, so I will be shopping. Plus, we're going to Disneyland Paris, so there will be shopping done there. Want to get stuff for friends and family as well as ourselves, because if you guys aren't aware, luxury goods are typically more affordable in their country of origin, which France obviously is the country of origin of a lot of luxury brands. So gonna do some luxury shopping while we're there, hopefully. Plus, it is sale season in France right now, which I guess it's the one time a year. It lasts about 3 weeks or so. There's 2 times a year technically. So there's one in January and one, I think, in like August is sale season. And it's the one time of year, 2 times a year rather, that companies are allowed to sell things for a loss, which makes for very good sales. So I'm gonna check that out as well. And one thing I did not know until we were planning our trip is that there is a luxury outlet mall right outside of Disneyland Paris. So we're gonna go to that as well. Our first day is what we're planning. So yeah, it should be fun, but we definitely need some room in our luggage. I'm not by any means a light packer, but I've tried my best with this trip. Trying to pack things that I will use and wear multiple days. Thankfully, since it's not summer, I won't be like sweating, hopefully, so it'll make it a bit more bearable, because I'm a sweaty gal. So in the summer, it's like, forget it. Like, I'm wearing a t-shirt once and like it has to be washed, because that's literally disgusting. But hopefully, since it's winter time, it'll be cold, we can avoid that. Today, I do have an eye doctor's appointment at 3, which I should have rescheduled, honestly, but whatever. Hopefully it'll only take like less than an hour, because I feel like that's just eating up a lot of my time today, especially like I feel like it's so hard during winter, because like you only have so many hours of daylight, so it's like getting things done is just really difficult. I'm hoping that doesn't take too long. I mean, the sun will basically be setting by the time I get out of that anyway, unfortunately. But I don't know, I slept horrible last night, so I've just had a slow start to the day. But at least I'm getting these makeup brushes washed. We have the full day tomorrow, which is good. We do have to run out to Target and grab some last minute things today. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. But I'm super excited for this trip. I'm really excited for Disneyland Paris. I mean, obviously I'm excited for actual Paris too, but I think I'm more nervous for actual Paris, because like Disneyland Paris, you're in like, I mean, Paris is in general is like touristy, but Disney's something that like I know, and like, you know what I mean, I'm more well versed in, even though it's in a different country. You know, most people there speak English. Like, I think I won't have an issue. Sorry, my friend called me, so it's now like 20 minutes later. But I finished cleaning my makeup brushes, so that was a success. I'm so excited for this trip. A little nervous, but I think hopefully we'll all be okay. But I'm hoping to record some more like packing stuff with you guys here over the next day or so, and then get this edited and uploaded for you guys to watch while I'm gone, because when we get back, we're gonna do tons of Paris vlogs, or at least Disneyland Paris. I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna vlog in Paris just because, for safety reasons. Disneyland Paris for sure. I'm so excited for that part of the trip, especially. We're staying at Newport Bay Club, which is basically Disneyland Paris's version of Yacht and Beach Club, which is so funny. I really, really, really wanted to stay at the Disneyland Hotel, or the Disneyland Paris Hotel. They had just renovated it last year, like they finished renovations last year, but it is so pricey to stay there right now because it's so new. So that didn't pan out for this trip, especially because we booked it such short notice. We booked this at the end of November, so it was really a quick turnaround time to leaving at the end of January. So we weren't at all planning this like before November. We had seen really affordable flights, and then we had checked Disneyland Paris and saw it was really affordable to go, at least when we booked it was. So that was like, we were like, okay, let's just do it, and kind of took a leap of faith with that. The pricing we got was amazing for Disneyland itself. Now it's a more expensive, which is kind of interesting. So I think we maybe just got like, I don't know, like I know this time of year is cheaper, but even if you try to book the same room now, it's a lot more expensive. And I've been checking it like every few days to see if Disneyland hotel gets cheaper, but it hasn't been. And also our hotel has gotten like double the price or more. Like I said, we're staying at Newport Bay, and whenever you stay at Disneyland Paris, like the tickets are basically included with like the pricing, and you get tickets for all the days that you're there. So we arrive Monday and then we stay 3 nights, so we leave Thursday, and we get tickets for all 4 of those days. We're definitely not gonna use the tickets on Thursday because we're gonna go over to Paris, but Monday we'll probably use them for a little bit. But for those 3 nights, plus both of our tickets, so the 2 of us for everything there, no food or anything, but tickets and hotel was $900. So like $300 a night for both a really nice like 4-star hotel and tickets. So that was a steal. And then like comparing that to like, I think Disneyland Hotel is at least like $3,000 right now for that same like time frame. So we were like, okay, that's a little out of budget for such a short notice thing, but I'm sure this won't be our last time there. So next time, definitely staying at Disneyland Hotel because it is gorgeous. And one of the things we definitely want to do is go around and check out all the hotels. We're big Disney people, and one of our favorite things to do at Disney World is resort hop, and so that's something we definitely plan on doing, just because I feel like there's not a lot of content about that online, at least for Disneyland Paris. Plus, I'm excited to make content for this because me researching, I found that there wasn't really a lot of content out there that was either vlog style or like helpful tips for Americans going to Disneyland Paris, or at least Americans going who are familiar with Disney and like by Americans. I found a lot of great British creators, and I'll link some of them down below that we've enjoyed watching while planning, and that have been super, super helpful. But I think there's also a different layer to it for somebody, or like people like us who like we're DVC members, we're Disney World annual pass holders. We go to Disney World 4 times a year, and like I have for my whole life, and having that comparison between the two and knowing what's normal at Disney World versus what's normal at, or like then learning those same things at Disneyland Paris, I think that can be very helpful as well. So I'm so excited for this trip, but I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of packing stuff. And we did buy vacuum sealed bags to help with packing. I'm not really sure if it's actually helping, but we're gonna pretend it's helping, and it's at least gonna help for our coats, because obviously since it's winter time we need coats, and those are bulky and take up a lot of space. Vacuum sealing bags should be helpful in that scenario. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a minute. One thing I was really struggling with this trip was figuring out what to wear to the airport, because we do have a red eye and we will be in the airport forever. I obviously am bringing clothes to change into once we land, since our hotel room won't be ready, so I'm gonna have something easily accessible to change into. But I wanted something like comfy, but still like wasn't gonna make me feel gross after being in it for 18 hours basically. But I ended up finding this set. I tried so many Amazon sets and nothing was like great for me, but I ended up seeing this set at Target yesterday. I bought it. I just tried it on. It looks so good. Feel free to check out my Instagram where I have put together some videos about like outfits I'm wearing and stuff, so that's on there if you want to check that out. But it's this little jacket. I love that it's like, it covers your booty. I love that there's like a cinched waist, and it's this like taupe color, which normally I don't go for. They did have it in a blue, which I did like, but the leggings, the blue leggings I got didn't match the top. So I was like, okay, I need to do something different. But I really like this, and it was originally $35, but I rang it up and it was on sale for like $25, I think. So really good deal. So super pleased with this. And then I just got a pair of blue leggings, which obviously these I'll use afterwards for sure. And these have a pocket inside, which for me, I love in a legging. And I feel like, you know how like some leggings are for like working out while others are for like lounging? I feel like these can truly be either. Like I feel like they'll stay up when I'm working out and be moisture wicking and everything like that. And again, I love the pocket so I can keep my phone right on me. But I just want to share this with you guys, and I'll link this stuff down below too that I'm mentioning in this video in case you're interested in it for yourself. Okay guys, so it's a little bit later. I had my eye appointment. I can't see very well right now because my eyes are dilated, so bear with me. This is kind of where we're at from last night. It's hard to see, but it's not going great. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's not where I wanted to be. So basically what I ended up doing is I bought this set of vacuum seal bags
from Amazon, and it comes with like a little mini vacuum, like a actual like a rechargeable one, which if you're gonna buy vacuum bags, I highly recommend getting one with electric pump, because originally I got one with a hand pump. Don't do that. But it honestly didn't suction things down as much as I thought it would. So this is kind of where we're at. So all of my clothes are in here. So there's this set, which honestly, like, it is pretty small, but it's just I have a small area to be packing in. And then I have this too, because it's hard because it's winter, so it's like sweaters, jeans, like it can only get so small, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm packing all t-shirts and shorts and sundresses here. So that's kind of what we're working with right now. And I did try a packing cube versus the vacuum seal, and the vacuum seal was smaller, or at least it was more narrow, which bought me space on the side. So like I have like my gloves in here, I have like our swimsuits in here, because our first hotel anyway has like a sauna and a pool. So yeah. And then I have this one on this side, so this side still has plenty of space. And then my husband's bag is behind me, and his is in a similar state. He has a little bit less than I do, but at least like the bags I'm packing, like this packs so flat, so thank God for that. This is gonna be like my purse for the trip. I have a crossbody for it, so at least that's very small, and that I'll probably put in my actual personal item, with my wallet and stuff in it, and I need to pack my wallet still and everything too. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. And I'm getting a bit nervous, but I think it'll be fine. I have not decided what bag I'm taking as my personal item. My husband's taking a backpack. I feel like I'm going to take a tote bag, like with a zip top that I have. I don't know. And then this is our clothes for Monday, which is like, because we'll be flying Sunday night into Monday. So these will be our clothes for Monday. So then we don't have to like completely unpack anything, because we're probably just going to change in the airport, because obviously our room won't be ready when we arrive. So that's where we're at. I am nervous. We'll have to make it fit though. Like, I don't have an option. And we have to still vacuum seal our coats. And those will go, we are bringing one checked bag that we're going to share, but that is mainly for like souvenirs and stuff, and then putting our coats in, flying over. I've decided I don't think I'm going to wear a coat over there on the plane unless I decide I really, really need to. Just because I feel like I'm not going to need it, because we're going to be inside, and it's just going to be too much of a hassle to like carry around, and it's going to get all dirty and gross, and I'd just rather it stay in my suitcase. So that's kind of where we're at. Fingers crossed none of our luggage gets lost, or at least the check bag does not get lost. We have air tags, so we'll be able to track it down, worst case scenario. So yeah, I don't know how I'm going to fit my travel pillow. Let me go get this bag that I'm thinking I'm going to bring, because I don't know. And I have a list on my phone of things I want to put in my carry-on, but I don't know. I hate packing so much. I freaking hate it, and I'm not good at packing lightly, so this has definitely been a challenge for me. I was talking about how we bought these vacuum bags from Amazon. They came with this little portable charging vacuum, which obviously whenever you're traveling, that's really all you have space for. But if I have a recommendation, if you're using these 2-pack, use your actual vacuum, because it gets so much flatter. Even if you use this small one for like 5 minutes, it's got nothing on giving it another shot with the big vacuum. Pretty good. Now it's literally like 2 inches thin. It's crazy.
Hello everybody. It is a few days later now, and it is Monday, and you might notice I'm at home. I'm not in Paris. So after I left you guys off on like Friday night, I think it was, I had actually filmed like a whole outro and everything talking about our trip. I ended up having to delete that because Saturday morning I got an email from JetBlue saying, hey, there's a big snowstorm coming to Boston and like up the whole East Coast, like affecting like 10 airports. You can change or cancel your flight for free, and we'd advise you to do so. And so I had gotten this like as soon as I woke up on Saturday morning. They'd like just sent it, so thankfully I saw it like right away. I instantly woke up, my husband was like, you need to get up because we need to figure out what is going on and what we are doing. So we called JetBlue. Also, did I say Southwest? This is all through JetBlue. I called JetBlue, which if you follow me on Instagram, you may have already heard the story, so my apologies. But we called JetBlue. We were on hold with them for an hour. As we're on hold with them, we are like looking up every option available to us, whether it's through JetBlue, through another airline, like how can we get to Paris safely before this storm hits? And like, so then we don't have to change every single one of our things we have planned in Paris and maybe just have to add on another night at the hotel, etc. Or maybe go through somewhere else on Sunday. What are the options? And basically what we had narrowed it down to was on, so this was Saturday that we were doing this. We saw that there was a flight out of Washington, D.C. on Saturday night that we could make it to, and because we could drive to D.C. with no problem. So we're like, well, we'll just drive to D.C., get on this plane, get to Paris. And so whenever we got on the phone with them, we were like, this is what we want to do. And they were like, oh, well, you can't do that because they wouldn't allow us to change our departure airport. Even though the email did not say this, nowhere on our waiver did it say this, but whatever, that's the rules that they apparently had. And we were like, well, what can we do? Like, can we switch it to Monday? They're like, well, we can't switch it to Monday because the storm might still be happening on Monday, so we have the Monday flights closed. Like, you can't rebook it to Monday. And we're like, okay, well, can we just, like, shift the whole trip? And they're like, well, we can shift your flight there, but you can't shift your returning flight yet unless you're in Boston tomorrow night, which would have been Sunday night, and they've canceled your flight. That's the only way you can change your returning flight home. So then if we didn't change our returning flight home, that would mean we would have less days in Paris, which we were already like only there for like 6 nights, you know what I mean? So that would have been very, knocking stuff down. And I was like, what is going on? You know what I mean? And it was very clear, like the woman on the phone had no clue, like was unaware that this was affecting 10 airports, and JetBlue emailed 10 airports worth of people to be like, hey, change your flight. And so she had no clue what was going on, had no clue about this waiver. And then she was also like, oh, well, there's a flight to Boston, or out of Boston to Paris today. You could fly out of Pittsburgh today. She's saying this to me on Saturday morning at 10:30. She goes, it leaves at 11. They were already boarding. Like, they were basically done boarding at that point. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So that was just a whole saga. So I went and I posted this on my Instagram stories because I was being a little brat. And sure enough, JetBlue emails or messages me within minutes of me uploading this, which is crazy. And so I talked to a different woman on there, and she was like, we can shift your flight. Like, that's fine. We can change your returning flight home. Like, you can shift your whole trip. She's like, but we can't change your departure airport, which I think is a load of crap. But whatever. So we're like, well, I guess we're going to shift our whole trip. And so what we ended up deciding to do, well, we had wanted to switch it like Wednesday to Wednesday since we were initially going Sunday to Sunday. We're like, we'll shift it all to Wednesday, and then whenever we get to Paris, we'll just do the city first, because we had a hotel reservation from Wednesday to Sunday, or from Thursday technically to Sunday, but if we fly out Wednesday, we'd arrive Thursday because of the time change. So we'll just do our Paris stunt first, and then we'll go to Disneyland after. So we'll basically just have to swap the trip. We'll have to change the Disneyland dates, but we'll keep the Paris dates. And then we looked, and that flight on Wednesday was basically completely booked. There was like 2 middle seats available, which I'm not flying a red eye. 8-hour flight, not sitting next to my husband, and sitting in a middle seat over my dead body. So we're like, okay, let's look at Tuesday now. So we ended up taking the Tuesday flight. And so then we had to add on an extra day at the Hilton we're staying at in Paris. And then it was kind of scary at that time too, because on Saturday at that point, Disneyland Paris's call line was closed. So, and they were closed on Sundays as well. So this was Saturday. They had already closed for the day because of the time change. And they were closed on Sunday. So this morning, it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Grant had to wake up at 3:30 this morning, which is like 9:30 a.m. their time, and call the Disneyland helpline as soon as they opened to be like, hey, I'm not going to be there today. Thankfully, they were great. I was like so nervous. We ended up having to pay the difference. So that's how they do it there. You have to pay the difference, but they were able to change everything for us. They changed our dining reservation. They changed our firework reservation, everything. Were very kind. We ended up paying an extra $500. So obviously that's not amazing, but like we got a steal on the room anyway. So it was still money well spent. So yeah, this has all cost us way too much extra money, but overall I still think we got a good deal on this trip. So, and I know it'll be super memorable as well, and we've already planned some stuff for in the city the extra day that we have. And of course, you know, last night was the flight we were supposed to be taking and the snowstorm and everything, and the flight did end up taking off, and so we could have gone, but you don't know what you don't know, and we just did not want to be stranded in Boston and having to spend hundreds of dollars potentially on a hotel, a car, because, you know, all these airlines say that they're supposed to cover that stuff and they never do. So, you know, we did what we could with the information that we had, and it is what it is. I'm trying not to think about it at this point, but I will say that flight they ended up taxiing for a long time. I don't know if that was to defrost or what, because of course we're watching it like hawks because we're crazy, and they ended up landing like 2 hours late. So hopefully we don't land 2 hours late. And even if we do land 2 hours late, at least now we have a whole extra day, so it won't really affect our trip. But if we would have went and arrived today and got there 2 hours late, that really would have thrown off a lot of our plans. So hopefully this will serve us better in the end. But yeah, I just needed to share that story with you all so you're not confused of what's going on. And I've gotten so many like texts from people I know who are like, have fun in Paris. And I'm like, I'm not in Paris. I'm not in Paris right now. So yeah, but we're still going, which is the important thing. And we're very blessed to have like everything to be able to make it work, as like with my husband's job, financially, all of that. So just thankful in that regard. But yeah, so this has been quite the journey. But we will finally, hopefully, be in Paris. I'm leaving tomorrow. And so today we just have to finish getting everything packed up again. The weather has changed a little bit, so we might be exchanging some stuff out to save some space in suitcases, which would be nice because now it's supposed to be in like the 40s and 50s. So I'm thinking I'm not going to take my big puffer coat and take like a trench coat instead, because we might get rain now, unfortunately. But yeah, so we're doing what we can. Be sure to check out all my links down below. Follow me on Instagram to see this trip as we're going on it live. I do have blog posts that will be coming out as we are gone, so make sure you check those out. And I will see you guys soon. Bye!